What is your advice for founders who are trying to bootstrap as opposed to, going out and getting funding?
Yeah, I think number one, it's all about prioritization. So in some cases, some of the founders who I've been this week is New York Tech Week here in New York, and some of the founders I've been meeting are still working full-time jobs or are doing consulting gigs on the side while they're building. And so I think you have to be more creative when you're bootstrapping. But I think that the payoff is really worth it. But it's all about how you're prioritizing the decisions in your life, right? And I think there are ways, there are grants, there are collectives, there are groups that you can get involved with, right? Where you might be able to barter different services, right? And think about, your website, getting your website built by another small business owner who's, trying to figure out their go to market, and maybe you can help them with something. But getting more creative, you don't immediately need to go with the big agency or the big thing that other people are going with. You don't need Salesforce out the gate. Really getting and honing in on what are the priorities. Where should you be spending your money? And then where are the areas where maybe you can get away with doing things a bit more creatively? A lot of MBA programs have pro bono services that their students need to do projects. Undergraduate universities have them as well. Getting connected with students that are trying to learn. I think this is a totally separate conversation, but I think AI is making it more difficult for people right out of school to even get jobs, getting them credit where they can learn something and they're helping you, right? And maybe you're paying them $20 an hour where you would be paying a professional hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars. Do you have to look at the end product and maybe change it and adjust it? Yes, but it's worth it in the long run, right? And so I think being more creative about how you execute is something you can control. And that helps you keep a tighter eye on your burn when you're bootstrapping.
Those are amazing suggestions. And if you're bootstrapping, how do you also think of go-to-market kind of strategy and, that approach? Because maybe now you don't have as much to spend on marketing and,
Yeah.
these aspects.
You
Yeah.
you have to be very, very dialed in on your target consumer and only pay for channels that your target consumer are going to be in. Keep a very tight eye on what that customer acquisition cost is. And so I worked with one startup. They were obsessed with going to trade shows. Trade shows are super expensive. And they brought in someone new in marketing, and she was able to show them that trade shows actually were not converting for them at all whatsoever. But the founder was like, that's the best way to get our name out there. And so he was truly committed to doing it in the face of the fact that the data showed that it just really didn't convert. And so I think when you're bootstrapping, it's so important to look at what is truly converting, right? Where are you getting the bang for your buck? I think also having raving fans, having customers that truly love your product is actually more valuable than any marketing you can do. Because if you can harness and leverage them to talk about your product, to invite their friends, to invite their coworkers, to basically become free advertising for you, essentially, right? In some cases, you might offer them a discount if someone signs up and is a, longtime customer for 6 months or things like that, right? There are plenty of ways to do it as long as you're providing amazing customer service and an amazing product that people want to talk about.
Thank you for joining us on the Little Pursuits podcast. Please follow, subscribe, and share this with one builder who needs it. Check out the show notes for links to connect with us and our guests.